All right, guys, it's time to discuss what I'm buying this month. And there are some massive names on this list, and some names did not make this list that may actually shock you. Now, don't get mad at me, at least hear me out, and then you can be mad at me if you want to. So, I'll give you all the stocks that I'm looking to buy today, exactly why, all the reasons behind it, and everything else. And of course, a couple of these might get you guys a little bit fired up here, but that's exactly what we're here. Let's discuss it down in the comments. Just make sure you like the video if you like getting the truth without the hype, because that's exactly what you're going to get around these stocks today. Now, remember, these are just the stocks that I'm targeting today, guys. Yes, there can be other stocks that I may be targeting in the future here, but based upon my valuation, my plan, shares that I want to add, positions that I have filled out versus positions I want to continue to fill, a lot of other things like that factor into why these stocks are on my particular list as opposed to other stocks that may not be on this list at this point in time. It comes down to my valuation and my plan. And that's exactly what I'm speaking from. I'm not talking about trading. These are long-term buy and holds for me. Sure, there's trades in a lot of stocks right now. I agree completely, but I'm not trading. I'm a long-term buy and hold investor. But these are stocks I'm looking to buy and add and hold for the long term. So first up, we have SoFi. I got an earnings preview coming out for this stock probably tomorrow or so. Be on the lookout for that there if you want to see my exact thoughts on what's important to earnings, what I think is going to happen on earnings, all the other good stuff like that. But in regards to SoFi right now, because of its big run it's had the past 2-3 weeks or so, it's actually above my price target. But we all know exactly how SoFi tends to move. And for me, it's close enough that I want to keep it on my watch list right here and have it as a stock to buy, because if we kind of get a rinse repeat pattern with earnings once again with SoFi, I'm going to be given an opportunity below my price target, which we've been adding it. We added a ton of SoFi stock down in that low $6 range there or so, but that comes with patience, that understands price targets, that understands having a valuation on the stock, and understanding and being patient, more importantly, with your plan, with where you want to buy, not getting caught up in FOMO and hype and all kinds of other things like that. And same exact thing when it's going down, not getting caught up in the fear narrative that's going back down to 5 to 4, whatever the case is with every single stock that seems to come out whenever a stock downtrends. That's when you need to buy, and of course, resisting that FOMO whenever it runs up. Otherwise, you end up in that scenario where you end up buying high and selling low. So again, this one isn't quite to my price target yet, but as we've seen before, after earnings can be devastating for this particular stock. So it definitely wanted on my list there because I need to be ready whenever it's time to pull the trigger if we have exactly what we had on last earnings happen to the stock once again this time around. And speaking of earnings, we just went through the entirety of Tesla earnings call together. We discussed everything about it. And if you want to be able to discuss earnings with me, make sure you take advantage of the earnings flash sale that's going on right now, where you get all my buy and sell alerts in real time for all the stocks that are on this list. You get to discuss earnings with me directly. I put out videos. You can talk to me on the live Q&As. You can talk to me whenever we go live and go through the earnings calls. You can obviously just ask me right there in the Discord. A ton of different ways to get answers to all your questions, guys, because I want you to understand how to invest, how to become a better investor. And we do that through 5 courses, free coaching, being able to talk to me directly, Q&As, all kinds of other stuff, guys. The flash sale is going to go away in a flash, so make sure you check out the pinned comment down there and see if a membership's right for you. We'll discuss more about this at the end, but we need to get into the next stock. So next up, we have Meta. Now, guys, we discuss this all the time. Valuation is what matters, and let me kind of give you a little bit of an example here using Meta as to why I have this on my watch list right now. Right now, Meta's trading at a forward multiple, the mid-20s or so at the time of this video. Now, for context, Walmart is trading at a forward multiple of 29, almost 30. So you tell me in regards to a forward multiple, who's going to have more growth over the next year or two? Is it going to be Meta or is it going to be Walmart? If you're asking me, my money is on Meta. It prints money compared to Walmart. It also has a much higher growth rate, whether you use Wall Street's analyst estimates, whether or not you use Zuckerberg's estimates. It doesn't matter what estimate you're looking at. The growth rates are not even in the ballpark, but yet here is Walmart trading richer than Meta is currently. So maybe some of the big tech firms that everybody likes to talk about and everybody likes to lump them all together are completely stretched. But when I look at Meta's, it's clearly not stretched at all. And if we follow the same exact pattern that we followed last time, where they basically raise guidance, just didn't raise it up to what Wall Street wanted, we may get an opportunity once again to buy in those low 400s, maybe even lower. I'd be happy to add at that stage if it is, but we may get another great opportunity to add to just a cash flow beast that is Meta, because somebody's not going to either like his projection, or maybe they feel he's spending too much on, llama or whatever the case is. It doesn't matter at that stage. The point being, any sort of beatdown we get like that is a massive opportunity because there's so many growth levers coming in the future. There's so much money coming in. There's so much more money he can print at any point in time he wants to. And more importantly, it's silly to bet against Zuck. He has managed to turn around that business time after time after time and make it print money. It's been dead time after time after time. So Wall Street wants to get silly again after this earnings call. I'm going to happily add more. So next up, we have PayPal. I agree with you guys. This one just can't seem to get started. I say it every single time I buy in the group there that I just hate this stock with a passion because I want it to get moving. We have positive news. We have possible tangible news, not just news that doesn't really matter or it's 5 years in the future. Actual tangible news that will produce money to the bottom line in the coming quarters. And the stock still doesn't go anywhere at this stage. So they're making progress. The valuation continues to get cheaper. They're continuing to move in the right direction, but we just aren't going anywhere in regards to stock price. And that is frustrating, guys. I understand the frustration completely there. I understand maybe wanting to move to something else. It makes sense to me. For me, when I'm viewing it, I'm looking at this thing long-term and I look out 3 to 5 years and I just go, there's no way this stock is not significantly higher 3 to 5 years from now than it is right now today. So I kind of begrudgingly almost add there. I need to put money to work. And unfortunately, I'm not looking to trade. So when I start looking at where's the best place to put my money, unfortunately, PayPal does tend to get my money sometimes. And my guess is if we continue to stay at these levels, it's going to get my money once again. But again, earnings is going to drive that. And Wall Street is looking for anything to get the stock moving in the right direction there. We just have to have it on earnings. But you have to understand the stock is extremely frustrating and it does not have momentum or anything else really working in its favor at this point in time. So you got to understand that before you buy it. All right, so next up is Google. I don't understand it. It seems like for 2 years now, everybody, gets excited about Google a little bit, then it's behind and it's not going anywhere. And sometimes it's even people just saying it's dying and it's not going, to do anything, despite the fact earnings and everything else have said the exact opposite. Nobody does search better. They own the #1 and the #2 search engine there in regards to the world, and nobody's even in the ballpark. I'm sorry, everybody thinking ChatGPT was going to take away from it. They just kind of went, cool, we'll just integrate ours into search and move right along. And absolutely squash that. They are obviously, I've talked about from the start, AI monetization is something that hasn't come to fruition with any of the competitors in regards to Google. Google is actually able to monetize theirs a little bit right now through the ads, which, by the way, nobody does ads better than Google. You can make an argument for Meta, but that's it. They're 1 and 2, 1A, 1B, however the heck you want to place them there. They're up here. Everybody else is way down here. So in regards to ads and everything else, there's nobody better outside of Meta than Google there. And again, these are all high profit, high margin businesses. So I see no reason not to continue to add on any sort of weakness we get after this earnings call here. I have a full position. I've had a full position for a long time. But again, Wall Street wants to get it done and beat this down for a few weeks after these earnings, which honestly weren't terrible once again. But again, the stock is down, of course, because that's kind of what Wall Street does. We'll see what it does over the next couple of weeks. But if they get dumb and they want to beat it down to where that valuation gets really, really cheap, once again, I'm going to be forced to add more shares of this stock, which is actually a good thing long term. Every single buy we've made of Google for over 2 years now has been a massive winning buy. So once again, Wall Street wants to be dumb. Cool. I'm happy to buy more shares and make more money on this stock because this really is an easy money stock. All right. Now, before we get to the last stock here, we need to talk about another stock that is not going to make this list this time around, and that is Tesla. Now, hear me out. I know it's Tesla stock. People get passionate about it, but hear me out all the way to the end of the little statement right here. Then we'll get to the last stock that I'm buying. It's one you guys are probably going to like a little bit better. But in regards to Tesla, it's not on my list right now for a variety of reasons. Now, I'll give you guys kind of an in-depth look of what I think Wall Street's going to do to Tesla over the next quarter here, sometime this weekend, maybe early next week. I'm not real sure, right here on YouTube. And of course, if you guys are members, mastermind members of the group, you can go back, get my full thoughts on the entire earnings call in real time there. We talked about all kinds of different things that were in the numbers prior to the earnings call, because of course they were 15, 18 minutes late, something like that. The usual for Tesla's earnings. So that way you can get all my thoughts there. So you have that right there in real time. Members, go check that out there. And yes, you can catch the replay as well. It doesn't matter. Just click the link there. You'll get the replay, obviously, since we did it last night. But Tesla's valuation went down after the earnings call, not up. And so any sort of beatdown that we've gotten in terms of Tesla, obviously it's taking a beating today too so far. Last time I checked, it was down like 12%, something like that on the day there. It's still, in my estimation, it was trading rich coming into earnings. And obviously when the valuation goes down because of the earnings call, that means any sort of beatdown is kind of doesn't necessarily make the stock cheaper if the valuation also falls down as well. It kind of mirrors itself. And I thought it was rich coming into earnings, which means it is still trading extremely rich right now, despite the beatdown that it's getting. It is not cheap, in my personal opinion. The long and the short, that's why it's not on my list this time around, because it's still trading rich despite this beatdown. So obviously, I'll give you guys the details in a later video here coming up this weekend, early next week, whatever the case is. You'll get that information right here. But that's why it's not on the list right here, guys. It is still trading incredibly rich. And so I need to make some adjustments in regards to my valuation on the stock and in regards to what price target I want to buy it and all that good stuff right there. So that's why Tesla's not on the list. But let's move on to the last stock that is on the list. And that stock is Palantir. I hear you guys already. Luke, you said Palantir was overvalued and you have it on your list, but you're saying Tesla's overvalued and it's not on your list. Well, guys, that's where there's a little bit more nuance to the discussion right there. Now, yes, I am agreeing with you guys. Palantir is significantly overvalued at this stage, in my opinion. I basically think we are trading above where I think we will be at the end of the year currently with Palantir. However, Tesla is in a different stratosphere in terms of overvaluedness. That right there would be the first piece. The second piece is Palantir, I think, will come down by the time the end of the year comes around. I think I'm going to get an opportunity here. Maybe not this quarter. I hope it's this quarter, but maybe not this quarter. We'll see how earnings plays out. But Palantir is executing much better than Tesla is right now. Now, we all understand why Tesla's not executing properly there. So I'm not saying that like Palantir is better or Tesla's in trouble or anything else like that. Just currently with the environment, with everything we know based upon the earnings call, there's nothing coming to Tesla's rescue to significantly change anything in regards to the short term there for Tesla over the next couple of quarters. However, with Palantir, they just got run up and a little bit overvalued in regards to valuation, but they are still performing underneath the business there. There's still more levers that they can pull to create more profits to the bottom line there. So we could very well see a great earnings surprise this time around or something else, or vice versa. Just Wall Street wants to rotate into something else. Maybe the AI trade is over with for now, and therefore you're going to get that situation to where the price is coming down, but they continue to execute and the business is going up and continues to go up right now. You can't say that same exact thing with other stocks, but I can say that with Palantir. If that divergence happens after this earnings call, that right there is the exact situation I want to be in as a long-term buy and hold investor. That's why I have it right here on my watch list and why I think I might get an opportunity to buy this stock here if Wall Street decides to get a little bit crazy after earnings. So that's why I have it on here right now. Remember, guys, in the end, share count is what matters. Yes, I bought the bulk of my shares back in the $6, $7, $8, $9 range, right up in there in that range. However, I've happily added whenever Wall Street's gotten stupid from a valuation perspective, and just like Meta and Google and a lot of other stocks like that. And when you do that, you're not left saying, I wish I would have bought more, or is it a time to buy now whenever it's run up? You don't have to play those games. You can sit back and just enjoy runs like that. But I'm preparing to get more opportunities because Palantir is overvalued, and it seems like after earnings, that's just whenever they want to take a dump on Palantir. So I'm happy to buy more shares if they decide to do that. And if you want to see all those buys in real time, jump on that flash sale that's here in a flash and could disappear in a flash before it ends, where you get all that. You get 5 courses free. You get access to the best 6, 7, and 8 figure Discord out there. You get free coaching, free stock analyzer tool. You get my complete watch list with price targets. You get to basically talk about anything you want with me anytime you want. Guys, we got live Q&As. You can slide into my DMs. You can jump on our Discord there and ask me questions directly. I answer every single question that I'm asked. So make sure you check out the pinned comment down there and see if a membership's right for you and see if you want access to all that. You want to jump on earnings calls with us? Awesome. You got to get access to that group. Make sure you sign up for the mastermind there. Take advantage of that flash sale before the flash sale ends. And click this video here if you want to see exactly what I'm buying in this market. And click here to see my exact plan for this market. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.